Now we will see our third chapter, that is ruling the countryside. Now we will see our third chapter. We can see that when company became Diwan, new methods they made to generate revenue. So what were those methods we will learn in this chapter, and what agricultural practices uh, were continued at that time, we are going to learn in this chapter. On 12th August 1765, East India Company became Diwan. This we have learned in our earlier chapter, how East India Company became Diwan of Bengal. In 1764, there was Battle of Buxar, and we know that during that time, East India Company won that battle, and then East India Company became Diwan of Bengal, and we can see in this picture that Shah Alam II, he is handing over the legal document to Robert Clive, and he became the Diwan of Bengal. With these rights, as we know that we get rights, we also uh, get some responsibilities. So East India Company, उनके साथ भी वही हुआ. He also got some responsibilities. He had to think that how he will administer the land of Bengal. जैसे वो दीवान बन गए तो how he will handle, how he will administer the land of Bengal. He had to think how he will collect revenue, what will be the system, and all these things. He had, means the East India Company had to organize revenue resources, how they will collect revenue, all these things, how crops will be yield, कैसे उनको वर्क करवाए फार्मर्स को, एंड कॉलोनाइजिंग ऑफ कंट्री साइड. वो भी उन्हें सोचना था कि वो कैसे कंट्री साइड, हम नॉर्मल लैंग्वेज में कह सकते हैं कि रूरल एरियाज, means how they will rule in the rural areas. They had to think how they can earn and administer uh, in those areas. So this was the responsibilities of the East India Company. After becoming Diwan of Bengal, the company started purchasing cotton and silk from the revenue generated from Bengal. First, we have learned in the earlier chapter that पहले वो ब्रिटेन के ऊपर डिपेंड रहते थे for the revenue, मतलब for the money. So for purchasing, you can see in the first picture, for purchasing cotton, silk, they had to depend on the Britain. But as the company became Diwan of Bengal, they generated it from the Bengal only, means they collected revenue from Bengal. So now they don't have to depend on the Britain for money. They got it from the Bengal itself. Okay, now what happened? See, when some problems also caused at that time, when East India Company did this, when they collected heavy revenues, बहुत ज़्यादा revenues वो collect करने लगे, that time the economy of Bengal was facing deep crisis. मतलब बहुत सारे वो crisis face करने लगे at that time. जो artisans and peasants they left Bengal. What did they do? Because of they were not able to pay more tax to Diwans, as Diwans ने उन्होंने कहा कि उनको बहुत ज़्यादा उनको टैक्स पे करना है, हाई अमाउंट. सो दे वर नॉट एबल टू पे, सो दे लेफ्ट बंगाल. तो वो उन लोगों ने बंगाल छोड़ा. सो द इकोनॉमी ऑफ बंगाल वॉज फेसिंग डीप क्राइसिस. डीप क्राइसिस मीन्स वो लोग पैसों की कमी भी थी और रिसोर्सेज की भी कमी होने लगी. इवन एट दैट टाइम इन 1770 अ बिग फेमाइन हिट बंगाल. मतलब एक बहुत बड़ा फेमाइन जो नेचुरल कैलामिटी है वो बंगाल में हुई. ड्यू टू दिस अबाउट 10 मिलियन पीपल वेर डाइड. मतलब 10 मिलियन पीपल उस दौरान उन लोगों की डेथ हो गई. ड्यूरिंग दैट टाइम इट वॉज द 1/3 पॉपुलेशन ऑफ बंगाल. So at that time it was a very bad condition. They didn't had any resources, no food, no money, nothing. Due to this they didn't had any kind of money or food or resources. मतलब बहुत condition bad थी. You can see in this picture how they are surviving. So Britishers now thought to take steps फॉर इम्प्रूवमेंट. नाउ ब्रिटिशर्स जो थे उनको कुछ इम्प्रूवमेंट चाहिए थे, सो दैट वो उनका जो रेवेन्यू है वो डिक्रीज ना हो जाए. मतलब सो फर्स्ट उन्होंने देखा कि नीड टू इम्प्रूव एग्रीकल्चर. उन्होंने एग्रीकल्चर इम्प्रूव करने के बारे में सोचा. सो द कंपनी वांटेड टू इम्प्रूव एग्रीकल्चर इन ऑर्डर टू स्टॉप द डिक्रीज इन इट्स रेवेन्यू. उनके रेवेन्यू में डिक्रीज ना हो, इसीलिए वो क्या चाहते थे कि वो अपना जो एग्रीकल्चर है वो इम्प्रूव करें. नाउ वी विल सी कि क्या स्टेप्स लिए गए फॉर इम्प्रूविंग एग्रीकल्चर. एग्रीकल्चर मेथड्स को इम्प्रूव करने के लिए क्या स्टेप्स लिए गए. फर्स्ट वी विल सी इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ परमानेंट सेटलमेंट सिस्टम. ये जो परमानेंट सेटलमेंट सिस्टम है दैट वाज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड बाय लॉर्ड कॉर्नवालिस इन 1793. 1793 में ये सिस्टम इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ, इन्होंने इंट्रोड्यूस किया. ही सेड दैट जो लोकल राजाज जो उस टाइम पे फिर जिन्हें ज़मींदार्स कहा जाता था, अब क्या कर दिया, जो लैंड थी वो लैंड की ओनरशिप दे दी इन ज़मींदार्स को. मतलब कि जो अब फार्मर्स हैं उनको डायरेक्ट ब्रिटिशर्स को टैक्स पे नहीं करना है. अब जो ज़मींदार्स है, दी ज़मींदार्स वर दी ओनर्स ऑफ द लैंड, सो द फार्मर्स हैड टू पे टैक्स or duty to the zamindars, and then further the zamindars will pay that amount to Britishers. What did Britishers do? They fixed one amount. उन्होंने एक amount fix कर दी so that they can get the continue revenue. जो उनको revenue है वो अच्छे से उनको मिला लिए. So he made plans for that. Now we can understand it by one example. For example, Britishers जो थे, suppose they had fixed that farmers had to pay 100 rupees, okay, to the zamindars. They had to pay 100 rupees to zamindars, that was fixed, and that 100 rupees zamindars will pay to Britishers. Now if for many years this thing was fixed, suppose now if they are earning 200 or 300, the remaining amount they had to pay 100 rupees to zamindars. Now the remaining amount will benefit to farmers. मतलब वो जो remaining amount है वो farmers को उसका benefit होगा, and so with that money they can improve their agriculture methods. Now the problems in the permanent settlement. See as जो plan किया था वैसे पूरा नहीं हुआ. There were some problems. We can see a rent was too high. Zamindaris were auctioned by the company. Though income was increasing, but the company was getting fixed revenue. Zamindars not keen to improve agriculture. These were the problems that were faced during this system. Now then came Mahalwari system. See, Mahalwari system that was developed by Holt Mackenzie in 1822, and it was introduced in the northern parts of India. What was there in the system? That fields were measured first, then revenue of each plot added up to collective revenue of village, and the revenue was revised periodically. यही revenue जो है वो revise भी होता जाता था. And then village headman एक होता था, he used to collect the revenue, and that village was called as mahal. This was the system, Mahalwari system. We can explain in you can read the chapter and you can understand more about it. Here we can see major land, then village became mahal, headman collects revenue. Then came Rayatwari system. In southern parts also it was introduced same way. That system was known as Rayatwari system. It was developed by Governor of Madras, that is Thomas Munro, in 1820. Same way fields were measured and the revenue was revised periodically, but the revenue was collected by Britishers, and peasants jo the, they were the owners and called ryots. Then the amount of the tax was very high. Peasants started deserting countryside. Now जो peasants थे वो मजबूर हो गए थे. they had to pay rent, they had to pay money means, so they moved to countryside. वो move करने लगे. Now when they decided to move to the countrysides, then Britishers plan बनाने लगे कि अब वो भी उस तरफ move करें. So they decided to अबाउट क्रॉप्स नाउ फर्स्ट ब्रिटिशर्स डिसाइडेड अबाउट क्रॉप्स दैट क्रॉप्स फॉर यूरोप कौन से होने चाहिए, जैसे शुगर केन इन यूपी, व्हीट इन पंजाब, then jute in Bengal, tea in Assam. These crops were for cultivation was done for Europe. Now indigo cultivation, we all know about indigo. That was high demand for dyeing clothes in Europe. यूरोप में ये क्लोथ्स डाई करने के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा डिमांड था इसका. एंड द इंडियाज़ ट्रॉपिकल क्लाइमेट इज़ सूटेबल फॉर इट्स ग्रोथ. और इंडिया का क्लाइमेट इतना ज़्यादा सूटेबल था दैट मोर प्रोडक्शन वॉज डन इन इंडिया. सो इंडिया वॉज द मेन एक्सपोर्टर ऑफ indigo. Here we can see stages of fabric dyeing. Indigo to fabric dyeing मतलब वो कैसे indigo से वो fabric dyeing में मतलब उसका जैसे डिमांड बढ़ने लगा, so they wanted to start cultivation. Now methods of indigo cultivation. There were two systems, niche system and rarity system. Under first we'll see about niche system. In this system the planter produced on land which was under his control by way of ownership on rent basis. अब जो planters थे, planters हम किसे कहेंगे, ये वो लोग हैं जो इन्वेस्ट करते थे. They were not growing the crops by themselves but they were the investors for the cultivation of indigo. So they took it as ownership or rent basis and they did cultivation. And in rent system planters entered into contract. मतलब एक contract written document, हम जानते हैं कि contract का मतलब होता है written document. तो there was a written document मतलब contract with riots or village headmen and provide them loan to grow indigo with the condition to keep 25% land exclusive for indigo cultivation. मतलब indigo cultivation के लिए वो ऐसे loan करके कंडीशन रखते थे. Now during that time also many problems were faced by indigo cultivators. As we can see, income from indigo was less, land became infertile, unsuitable for growing rice crop. Cultivators got trapped in never ending loan cycle. मतलब लोन साइकिल में फंसे हुए रहे. जो लैंड है वो भी इनफर्टाइल हो गई एज इंडिगो ही बार बार उसको ग्रो करते रहे एंड इनकम भी उसमें से कम होने लगी. देन द ब्लू रिबेलियन स्टार्टेड. ब्लू रिबेलियन मतलब उन्होंने ब्लू इसीलिए कहा गया है कि बिकॉज इंडिगो वॉज ब्लू इन कलर. और रेबेलियन मतलब विद्रोह किया उन्होंने. तो इन मार्च 1859 अ रेबेलियन ब्रोक इन बंगाल एंड द रिबेल्स वर द इंडिगो कल्टिवेटर्स. और ये जो विद्रोही थे वो कौन थे, जो इंडिगो कल्टिवेटर्स थे वो. क्वीन विक्टोरिया है, उन्होंने ऑर्डर किया मैजिस्ट्रेट ऑफ बरासात टू इशू एन ऑर्डर विच स्टेट्स दैट राइट्स वुड नॉट बी फोर्स टू एंटर इनटू इंडिगो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स. फिर उन्होंने ऑर्डर इशू किया कि वो राइट्स जो है वो एंटर ना करें इंडिगो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स में. नाउ आफ्टर दैट सेटअप ऑफ कमीशन, विल सी कमीशन सेटअप हुआ एंड इंडिगो कमीशन वो सेटअप टू लुक इनटू द मैटर. अब ये सारा मैटर देखने के लिए इंडिगो कमीशन सेट हुआ एंड दे कंक्लूडेड द फॉलोइंग. क्या क्या उसमें इंक्लूडेड है, सी प्लांटर्स वर फाउंड गिल्टी, प्लांटर्स वर फोर्सिंग राइट्स टू एंटर इनटू कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स. Then indigo cultivation was not profitable for riots and riots were asked to fulfill the existing contracts but they got the right to refuse indigo cultivation in future. जैसे हमने देखा कि वो कैसे refuse कर सकते हैं, order issue हुआ था. So these are the points which you can note it down or revise it. आफ्टर द रिवॉल्ट, ये रिवॉल्ट के बाद जो द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ इंडिगो केम टू एन एंड इन बंगाल. मतलब ये जो रिवॉल्ट हुआ उसके बाद जो प्रोडक्शन है इंडिगो का वो बंगाल में एंड हो गया, उसका अंत हो गया. एंड दैट शिफ्टेड टू बिहार. नाउ इट वाज शिफ्टेड टू बिहार. मतलब जो प्रोडक्शन है वो ज़्यादा बिहार में होने लगा.